Yo, what is up? It's Chris X the First, and in today's video, we're going to be talking about the best Ashe perks to run in Season 20 of Apex Legends, and the patch notes just dropped. Season 20 is dropping tomorrow, but as you can see, we already know all of Ashe's perks. If you don't know how the perks work, you will have two different upgrades, a level 2 upgrade, and you get a choice between Murder Machine and 1 minute to live. And then you get a level 3 upgrade, and you get to choose between Greedy Snare or Twin Snares. So let's talk about her level 2 upgrade options. She has Murder Machine, call out the number of squads within a 150 damn. Call out the number of squads within 150 meters after a squad wipe. So basically, after you squad wipe a team, you're going to get a call out saying one team nearby, two teams nearby, and that's all within 150 meters. If you ever played with a crypto on your team and he's scanning banners, it's basically the same exact thing. When crypto scans a banner, it says there's 2 teams nearby, 3 teams nearby, 0 teams nearby. That's basically what this is going to be, except it's after every squad wipe. So, in rank, this could be pretty important. If you're worried about getting third-partied after a squad wipe, you'll be able to kind of understand who's around you if there's multiple teams around you. But if you're playing pubs and kind of hot dropping and there's multiple teams around you, this isn't going to be that important because you already know that there's lots of teams around you. And her other option that you can choose from is 1 minute to live. Using Ashe's passive tracks enemy position on map for 60 seconds. So if you don't know what that means, Ashe's passive allows her to scan a death box. And it will ping wherever that team is that killed whoever's death box you're looking at. But the way this perk works is it will scan them for 60 seconds. So let's say you roll up on a death box, you scan the death box with Ashe's passive, you're going to get live pings on that team for 60 seconds. Now, if they're right around the corner, this is going to be insane because you're basically going to have a bloodhound scan on them for 60 seconds. It won't be a bloodhound scan, it'll just be on the map. That's the way Ashe's passive works, is you have a scan on them on the map. And the way I'm assuming this is going to work, we won't know until tomorrow. I'm assuming it's going to be kind of like a UAV on the map for this team. For 60 seconds, you'll have a little UAV, which sounds really cool. And if they are far from you, you're still going to have the chance to see them and catch up to them on your map for 60 seconds. And personally, I think if you're playing pubs and you're trying to have high damage games, get a lot of kills, 1 minute to live is by far the better passive compared to Murder Machine. But if you're playing ranked and you're a serious gamer, then maybe you will enjoy Murder Machine, where you can call out the number of squads around you, or maybe you just don't like getting third-partied. We know Apex can be really hard when it comes to third parties and teams coming out of nowhere. If you always just want to know how many people are around you at all times, maybe Murder Machine is your route. But if you're just a kill dumper, a damage dumper, a pub stomper, being able to track a team for 60 seconds is actually insane. And I think this is the route most people will go with her level 2 upgrade. Now let's look at her level 3 upgrade options. So she has Greedy Snare. Arc Snare remains in play for 24 seconds and can catch multiple enemies. Yeah, you heard that right. Her Arc Snare is going to be able to catch more than one person, and once you snare them, they're going to be snared for 24 seconds. Now, if you don't know how Ashe's snare works, it is basically, once you are snared, you only have a tiny ring you can play in. You can't move left, right. You can't really move that far. You have to stay in the snare. And if they have to stay in the snare for 24 seconds, this is going to be really broken. Because if you're playing with a character like Fuse or Mad Maggie or really any character, if you know a team is snared, because you can catch multiple people. So let's say you snare 2 people down on a rock, and you have a Fuse on your team and he starts knuckle clustering, they literally cannot move. the only characters that can get out of an Ashe snare, I believe, are Pathfinder, Valk, and Wraith with her Q. So let's say you catch a Gibby in the open, or you catch a Caustic in the open and you snare him, you can do whatever you want to that man for 24 seconds. That's insane. You can knuckle cluster him, you can throw a thermite, you can mad Maggie ball him, you could fuse ult him, you could throw a caustic ult on him, and he's stuck on the Ashe snare for 24 seconds. And her other ability for level 3 upgrade is twin snares. She's going to gain an arc snare charge, so she gets 2 snares. That's not really that important because I think everybody and their mom should run greedy snare. Being able to keep multiple people in place for 24 seconds is so huge. For ranked, for pubs, let's say in ranked, a team is trying to rotate to circle, and you want to shoot them when they're in the open, right? You snare, you catch them in the open, the entire lobby is going to focus that man or those people for 24 seconds as they're stuck in the open. This is a huge buff to Ashe. I don't think a lot of people really understand how huge of a buff this is. Compared to having 2 snares, like who cares about 2 snares if I can snare somebody for 24 seconds and it can catch multiple people? I think this is going to be really good for Fuse. I think Fuse and Ashe, because Fuse, if you don't know, I know this video is all about Ashe, but let's talk about Fuse for a second. Fuse did get a buff in Season 20, so if you snare someone and you're playing with Fuse, this is going to be really, 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 really hard to deal with because there's not a lot of ways to deal with it unless you're Wraith. Wraith is probably the only character that doesn't care that Ashe can snare her for 24 seconds because she can just kind of Q away, but this is insane because even if you snare them, you throw a thermite, they're going to have to eat that thermite. They're going to have to eat that arc star. They're going to have to eat that nade. You can even fuse ult them, Mad Maggie ult. I mean, this is insane. This is a huge buff to Ashe. Now, like I said, Season 20 does not drop until tomorrow, but we have the luxury of seeing all these perks in action due to Nicewig. He had early access to the game. If you don't know who Nicewig is, make sure to go subscribe to him over on YouTube. Great guy in the community. But as you can see, he has early access to all of these abilities. So we're going to take a look at some of these abilities. Yep, Mark Deathbox revealed for 60 seconds, or I don't think he's going to be able to show too much of these in the range, but y'all can really get the idea of what these are going to do.
No way, that's pretty fucking useful, man.
Yeah, being able to scan somebody for 60 entire seconds is kind of insane.
1+1 tack charge.
Now this is what I'm interested about.
Or arc snare multiple enemies greatly increase lifetime.
24-second snare. Look how long this is. He's even got a timer on screen. Look how long they're snared. Do you see that ring?
Oh my God,
that's the only place they can move, is that ring. They have to stay in that snare for 24 seconds. It's insane. That's actually kind of broken.
Oh
wow.
My God.
Yeah, that shit is long.
Ashe has got a big upgrade. Understood. Wow.
But you know, that's gonna be it for the video. Tomorrow Season 20 does drop, and I'm gonna drop some content for Ashe. We're gonna try to get a nice game tomorrow. Olympus is coming back, the Prowler's coming back, the Eva's going into the care package. Ashe got buffed. I'm really excited. Y'all let me know down below what Ashe perks you think you're gonna run tomorrow, and let me know what Ashe perks you think are the best. But I'm gonna head out. Peace. I'll see y'all in the next video tomorrow.